Hey, allow me to take a few minutes to explain why banning Muslims from entering the United States is illogical, unchristian, and unconstitutional, because in case you didn't know, this is a bad thing to do. The President issued an executive order on Friday, January 27, 2017 that changed the country's immigration policies. This order bans all immigrant and non-immigrant entry into the United States from citizens of 7 different countries: Iran, Iraq, Libya, Somalia, Sudan, and Yemen. This order also stops people from entering the country even if they have a visa. The administration has not given consistent answers, though, on whether or not this applies to legal permanent residents of the United States. This order was allegedly put into place as a protection from terrorism, but no foreign national from Iran, Iraq, Libya, Somalia, Sudan, or Yemen has ever killed any American in a terrorist attack. In fact, most of the incredibly rare terrorist attacks that take place in the United States are executed by citizens or permanent residents. So there is little national security benefit to Trump's executive order on immigration. This executive order also suspended refugee admission into the United States from all countries for 120 days, and specifically suspended Syrian refugee resettlement for an indefinite amount of time. To be clear, the vetting process for a Syrian refugee can take more than 2 years to complete, and banning refugees from entering the United States after they've been issued visas is despicable, and it doesn't lead to us being any better protected or those refugees being better vetted when they enter the United States. Although no refugees are currently being allowed into the United States at all, Trump has stated, though, that once the program restarts, Christian refugees will be prioritized because Christ said to love your neighbor, but only the one that shares your beliefs. This ban is unchristian. Pope Francis spoke about the matter and said that you cannot be a Christian without doing what Jesus teaches us in Matthew 25. It's hypocrisy to call yourself a Christian and chase away a refugee or someone seeking help, someone who's hungry or thirsty. Toss out someone who is in need of my help. If I say I am a Christian but do these things, I am a hypocrite. Pope Francis specifically cited Matthew 25, where Jesus says that whatever we did for the least of these brothers and sisters, we did for him. Like when we feed the hungry, give the thirsty something to drink, clothe people who need clothes, take care of the sick, visit people in prison, and of course inviting a stranger in and welcoming them. However, this executive order being unbiblical and unchristian doesn't matter to anyone except the Christian voters, really, as the United States has no official religion and the religious freedom to practice your own beliefs, whatever those may be, under the First Amendment. But this order is also unconstitutional and illegal, so we should talk about that. Former New York Mayor Rudy Giuliani was interviewed on January 28th and explained how the administration's immigration policy changed from one that was overtly unconstitutional to a slightly more concealed kind of unconstitutional. The interviewer asked, does the ban have anything to do with religion? Giuliani answered that
when he first announced it, he said Muslim ban. He called me up, he said, put a commission together, show me the right way to do it legally. I put a commission together with Judge Mukasey, with Congressman McCall, Pete King, a whole group of other very expert lawyers on this. And what we did was we focused on, instead of religion, danger. The areas of the world that create danger for us, which is a factual basis, not a religious basis. Perfectly legal, perfectly sensible, and that's what the ban is based on.
Which flimsily avoids a direct declaration against Muslims, but it still has the same motive and much of the same effects as it would if this were a direct ban on Muslims. This executive order violates the Freedom of Religion Clause in the First Amendment as it acts to establish law on religious grounds, and it violates the Equal Protection Clause of the 14th Amendment because it institutes a policy of discrimination against a religious minority. It is also in violation of the Immigration and Nationality Act, which an executive order does not have the ability to override. American hero and former acting Attorney General of the United States, Sally Yates, was fired after announcing that she would not defend the immigration ban in courts. She wrote that, at present, I am not convinced that the defense of the executive order is consistent with these responsibilities, nor am I convinced that the executive order is lawful. And for saying, as Attorney General, that she didn't think something was legal, she was fired. She was fired for doing her job and attempting to uphold the Constitution. This executive order is unchristian, unethical, illegal, un-American, and unconstitutional. It has no national security benefits, it does nothing to further protect citizens from threats, and does absolutely nothing to help the millions of refugees who are actually fleeing terror attacks. It's a bad order. And if you know of any way to help the people affected by it, please let me know down in the comments, because we are stronger together. We are better when we act as a community. And if you would like to join my little community and continue to fight for justice, please subscribe, watch my last video, or support me on Patreon. And I will see you tomorrow. Bye.